Woke up this morning. That's all I could ask for.
My man, you can hear me all right?
Yes, sir.
Heck yeah, dude. Well, first and foremost, I really appreciate the time, dude.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. So 2 weeks removed from your UFC debut, how are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. Highs, lows, right? So, I mean, I feel good, man. I feel like everything worked out the way it was supposed to work out, and now we're on this next part of the journey. So,
Yeah, and it was a beautiful performance. I was curious with just the 3 days notice, how did you feel relative to a fully focused training camp?
honestly, I still felt really good because I knew I was putting in a lot of work, and I knew I was ready for the moment. Regardless of how it was going to go, I wasn't doubting myself too much. Obviously, it was a big moment, and it was a big achievement just to get there. So it was like, it was kind of cool just to have it all play out like it did. So I felt good, and even now I still feel pretty good. But the work has just begun, right?
Yeah, absolutely. After the debut, how was your birthday?
My birthday was pretty good, just a relaxed birthday. Got to eat a little bit. Went and took my boat out to the lake for a little while. Hung out with the kids. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, which lake did you go to?
Lake Pleasant.
Okay, that's I'm not super familiar. Is Havasu near you?
Yeah, Havasu. It's not near me, but it's about 2 hours away from me.
Have you been out there?
One time back in the day during my party days.
Yeah, those are over now though.
Yeah, those are over now. No more partying. I mean, I still get to have a good time here and there, but just with the kids and the wife, my focuses are just slightly different.
Yeah, and I feel like that definitely you could tell that in your performance too. Because on 3 days' notice, you looked incredible. Like I've been watching for so long and or MMA for 10 plus years, and 3 days' notice that was gnarly, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really felt like I embraced the moment, and that was my biggest thing for it. I really wasn't focused on the outcome. Like we always want to win, but I just feel like when you focus on the outcome, you can't be present. You're too focused on the future. So for me, it was just being present, being aware of my surroundings, and then showcasing myself the best I could.
Yeah, and you did that incredibly. I was just looking. This is your first submission win too. That how did that feel?
That felt pretty good. That felt pretty good just to show that I'm not just a striker. I definitely have a grappling pedigree as well, and really enjoy grappling. I know I'm a striker at heart, and that's just where my bread and butter is. But man, yeah, every day I'm putting in work on the mat and slowly but surely, getting better. So 1% each day.
That seems to be the overall vibe at that gym too. Is like a lot of really good strikers. I feel like have underrated grappling, and you showed that perfectly because, like I said, 6 wins by knockouts and the most recent one by submission. But you look like you're an ace on the ground. You know.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. That's what I was hoping to show. Just like, hey, don't sleep on my grappling. I'll put you on the mat, and I will definitely find submission if you give me the opportunity. So, something that again, mixed martial arts. That's why I didn't get into just striking because I love mixed martial arts as a whole, and I just love how any given night you can use any of your tool sets if it's open. So, definitely happy to get the submission, especially over a tough guy like Journey. So yeah, I was happy about that.
Good stuff, dude. The I want to ask you about your gym too, and more specifically, a personal issue for me. Uh, you've known Tim Welch for quite a while, right?
Yeah, I've known him for about 10 years now. Yep.
Okay, you see my look right now, like standard, I'd say. I've tried to like get like a moped, and it just I look so goofy on it, and I'm wondering how Tim makes it look so good.
I think that's just Tim. He just, no shame, just jumped on that thing and it just became a part of him. So, I know Suge had one for a little while too. That was like the moped gang, So shoot, I might end up
Yeah,
getting one too.
yeah, yeah. If you do it, send me the tips, guy. I look goofy on there, man.
Hey, I'm sure you look just fine, man.
I appreciate it. Speaking of good style, dude, I've as much as I've been watching your fights, I've been watching maybe as much of your skate clips. You are a killer, dude. You shred.
Thank you, man. I'm trying to get back to showing people that, that's definitely a part of me. I love skateboarding. I love extreme sports. Like I do a lot of different things. I did BMXing, I did rollerblading, surfing, snowboarding. Like back in the day, rocket power was a big thing, and rocket power is like embodiment of life. Just go in and send it, full send, right? So for me, it was like all that kind of all came together, even in the mixed martial arts world too.
Who was your favorite character on Rocket Power?
It had to be Audie, it had to be Audie, man, right?
Yeah.
Like that was my guy,
Yeah.
that was my guy. But I always liked what's his name? What they call him? Slime? No, what they call him?
Squid.
Squid, yeah, they call him Squid.
Yeah. It was dope. I remember I was watching that kind of like before like I could like remember too much, but I had this episode where it was like Street versus Vert on repeat all the time.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Aside from that, what got you into skating? Oh, sorry. There's a little bit of lag. My bad.
No worries. I said that's a classic one for sure.
What was it like Rocket Power, or what else got you into skateboarding?
I think I just ended up running into a couple different people. Plus, I really didn't like team sports. I really wasn't a big fan of team sports. It was one of those complexes that I had just growing up. I didn't really want to be a part of a team, and I didn't see it for what it was worth, So just seeing that skateboarding was really like singular, and that was something that was all you showing up. I kind of really liked the aspect of that, and that kind of pulled me into it. Plus, like just movies like Brink from back in the day with rollerblading, and just they had that Grind movie that came out. Just a bunch of different movies that kept pushing me to stick with it.
Yeah, Lords of Dogtown. I was watching that on repeat too.
Yep, that's another classic.
Which, if you have a favorite, which Tony Hawk Pro Skater game is your favorite?
Underground 2, probably.
Underground 2, solid soundtrack on that one.
Yep.
Park listen to that all the time.
Just like the storyline for it, and you traveling all the world, and like everybody entwined in. They had like what is it, Pharrell? Or no, what was it? What's the name of that old board company?
Powell Peralta, right?
Yeah, Powell Peralta. They had that in there, and then just everything about it. I used to really want to be like on tour and traveling the world and skateboarding and doing that. So that was a dope one to me.
Are there any other fighters that skateboard that you like watching?
No, I heard something. I can't think about the name. I don't know why names are killing me right now, but I heard something about one of the 155ers skateboarding. But yeah, I don't know any other skateboarders that fight as well. Not in the UFC at least, or Bellator. So I'd like to maybe get something together and like have a S game of skate with just UFC and Bellator fighters.
Yeah. I'll see if I could. I'll see if I could help put that together. I've been trying to get Michael Chiesa to play me in skate. Dan Ige, I saw Dan Ige has a sick backside heel flip too.
Oh yeah, see that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to see what's going on with these guys.
Nah, but by a mile, you're the best I've seen so far.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I gotta step my game up to make sure I can bring in that title.
We'll make you a belt of some sort. And segueing off of that, belts, Sterling versus Cejudo. Did you watch that, and how did you score it?
It was a tough one for me to score. I feel like it could have went either way at the end of it, But I definitely feel like Sterling landed more. He definitely had more landed shots, more significant shots. Did get the takedown. Was I impressed by a lot of it? No, I wasn't impressed. I feel like they both like kind of canceled each other out a lot, so it made it for like a big stalemate, But Henry's a tough opponent, and Sterling, knew he had his work cut out for him. So, I think he worked hard for that and got that one. But I think it was just a tough fight where both guys had a hard time showcasing like how good they are. They're so good. Both of them are so good, and their skill sets are so similar that they kind of cancel each other out.
Yeah, I had it very close too. I had no idea what was going on after that, but it looks like for sure Sean O'Malley's next in line. How do you see that going? I
think Suge could. I always believe that Suge could put guys away. I think Suge just has to control distance, manage space, make sure he is where he wants to be, And, guys can't take blind shots on Suge. He will find that button, They're going to have to set it up. They're going to have to really work for that. I definitely think I see Suge winning. I definitely think it's a tough fight for him. You can't doubt Aljamain. His grappling is, top tier, top level. His striking's good too. I just think that Suge's going to be able to bring out mistakes in him in the striking department. And if he does get him to start shooting too early or start making mistakes with those shots, I definitely could see Suge finding a way to finish him.
Nice. What's so I guess just like the entire landscape of bantamweight is, you have Corey Sandhagen's always waiting in the wings. I still feel like Petr Yan is like a top contender. How would you match up everything going on up there, given O'Malley fighting for the title next?
Yeah, I feel the same way. I think any of those guys could be the champion, right? Top 10. Any of the guys in the top 15. You look at those guys, it's just stacked, right? All those guys have great striking, great grappling, great in between. They can switch things up on the fly as well, change up their styles, different body makeups. I still think Petr Yan is extremely dangerous. I don't think people should take him lightly. If you look at the guys, he hasn't been winning, but he's been fighting the top guys, upper echelon guys in the sport. It's like you're gonna have that point where you possibly could lose those fights, on any given night. So I definitely think Petr Yan's definitely still dangerous. Adrian Yanez, Rob Font, all those guys, they're just really high level guys. So I'm excited for how stacked the division is.
Who's your dream fight?
Maybe I should figure that out. I should figure that out because I don't know. I guess I don't think about it like that. I'll be excited to fight anybody who I fight. I'm just excited, like Goku. Like I'm just excited to fight the strongest guys and to build up and to find out, where my ceiling is, and then break through that ceiling myself. So, Ultra Instinct. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Man, with the skateboarding and Dragon Ball Z and Rocket Power references, you just cracked my top list, dude.
Heck yeah, man. That's what I was hoping for. Like you can be into all different types of things. You don't have to. I think that's kind of one of the things I want to push too. Like, I remember there being this big thing, even in skateboarding, where we're like, oh, you're a poser. You wore a DC hat with Vans shoes and, Volcom shirt. It's like, no, like you can do whatever you want, however you want to do it, and not be a poser. You just have to, if you have passions for multiple things, make it your passion, care for what you're doing, and there's no such thing as being a poser,
Yeah, exactly. And like with that, I got the Trunks little primitive collab right there.
Oh, that's sick, yo! That's super sick. Is that the grip? That's the grip tape too, huh?
Trunks guy. No, it's just the deck.
Oh, it's just the back of the deck. Oh, I couldn't see the curvature. Oh yeah, that's just the deck. That's dope. I've been looking at. There's this one company on Instagram that's been making super sick grip tape of like just all animes, Jujutsu Kaisen, One Piece, all these different animes. I'm like trying to swing. I've been hitting like and commenting on their posts as much as possible, trying to swiggle my way in there. Maybe get some designs.
That'd be tight, dude. How often do you skate now?
Shoot, I wish it was more. Usually I try to skate after each fight that week or the week after each fight. That's like the prime time for me to skate because I know there's time in between. But I would like to at least skate once or twice a week. Eventually I'd like to get to the point where I'm skating multiple times a week. It's just I don't want to chance it. I'm at the pinnacle in the sport, and I don't want to get into any injuries or have any problems and not be able to fight because I decided to go skateboarding. So I feel like I'm still, like I said, I'm a super young 33-year-old. And I feel like even after it's all said and done, I'm at 37 years old, 38 in the UFC, and I'm still plenty young enough to be killing it out there skateboarding. So I feel like even well into my 40s, I'll be well able to skateboard. So I'm looking forward to that. Once it's all said and done, and I'm done fighting and I can't fight like I want to, throw some pads on and go hit the park up more frequently.
Oh yeah. And speaking of skateboarding and fighting, I guess both together, or primarily skating in collaboration rather, a very ambitious collaboration I just thought of right before we talked was I want to see you and Neen Williams make a smash burger together at some point.
Bro, so I follow Neem Williams, and I don't know much about him, but I follow him, and he does a lot of exercising and stuff like that too. Like he's a dope. He seems like a dope dude. He's in Texas, right?
Yeah, and he's got the dopest heel flip ever.
Yeah, yeah. I've been checking him out big time. Yeah, I would be absolutely game for that. Him and another dude I follow from Hawaii, Park, Jason Park. Yeah, Jason Park
Jason
as
Park,
well.
yeah, Jason Park.
Yeah, I would like to collab with him. Shoot, man, if I can get down with like what's it called? Day One Song or Chris Hassan or any of those guys. Because I mean, back when I was skateboarding, I got to hang out with a pretty good amount of high level guys like Bob Burnquist, Rune Glifberg, Omar Hassan, Steve Caballero. I got to compete against those guys in a couple different competitions, and then like hanging out with guys like Aaron Hamoki, Jaws, Nick Freeney. Got to kick it around some of those pro guys. John Mata. And yeah, it'd be cool to like start getting back into that crowd a little bit.
Damn, dude, that's like a dope ass resume. Like, you want to be able to meet all those guys.
100%. Yeah, I used to kick it with those guys, man. I remember going to a party with Aaron Hamoki, Nick Freeney, Josh Hawkins, forget who else it was, Isaiah Johnson. There's an African party up the street, and we just crashed the party, man. And they just took us all in, and we were all learning the African dances, just all these skateboarders. So it was pretty cool.
Oh yeah, that's gotta be sick. Hanging out with Jaws, I feel like that guy's got to be impervious to heel hooks or something. There's something with his knees that's like inhuman.
Maybe you're right. I have to find out. I haven't actually seen him in a long time. I knew him pretty well. I knew his dad. I used to talk to his dad all the time. So I competed against Jaws a bunch of times too before he got on Birdhouse and went crazy and everything. Blue Heedy, a bunch of those guys. So it's kind of cool to see them blow up and be killing it still out there. But yeah, I'd like to link up with those guys sometime in the future, get my skateboarding skills back dialed in, so I can go ahead and not be worried about hitting up these 10 stairs.
So you're just a super prolific guy. Like you're obviously a sick ass fighter. You can skate very well. You can. It looks like you cook pretty damn well too. You garden. What else is there? What else are you doing, dude?
Man, yeah, skateboard, cook, garden, video game, anime. Man, I feel like the list goes on. I'm into stoicism, and like Taoism is a lot too. So like, I listen to a lot of like Epictetus and Marcus Aurelius and Carl Jung, into like a lot of that different stuff too. Yeah, and then I also cannabis grow. I grow cannabis as well. That's one of my other things. I was actually in the cannabis industry for about 10 years, and once I ended up getting done with that, I still had a big passion for it, and legally we're allowed to grow here in Arizona. So, I took it upon myself to develop my own grow, and I grow cannabis as well. So
doesn't Sean O'Malley have like his own strain?
I don't know if he has his own strain. I think he got with he might have got with a company and got a strain, because that's the biggest thing. You have to kind of get dialed in with one of these companies that are licensed, and then go from there. I wonder if he does have his own strain though. That's a good question. I'll have to ask him and see what his crosses are.
Yeah, with you growing it, do you have your own strain? Have you been working on that?
So I got a couple different ones. Like I got some apple tart right now, some banana crumble. That was one of my favorite. I did a banana crumble with dragon fruit juice, and I turned that into some live batter. That one was really good. We called that Maniac OG for a while. But yeah, those are ones. And then also have some sherbet crasher times GMO. Just kind of messing around with different strains. But I know that whatever I do decide to make my strain, it's probably going to be a hybrid. I really like the idea of hybrids. I just like the different attributes that they each bring. Even if it's from the same plant, if you get different phenos, they can just do so many different things. So I really like that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So you just like know what you're talking about whenever like I can bring up anything, dude. You know what you're talking about. And I'm gonna like lean on this knowledge real quick, because I want to know and I want to hear you talk about it, but I genuinely need your help right now. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I bought this steak and I have no idea how to make it. Like, if you got any pointers for me, man, I need some help.
What kind of steak is it?
It's a flat iron steak, the beef boneless flat iron.
Oh yeah, so yeah, that's so you have multiple different choices. I'd probably say throw it on the grill. That's probably the best thing. Throw it on the grill. Even a smoker, smokers take forever, but that'd probably be really good on the smoker because they'll get that slow cook. Uh, but yeah, it doesn't have to be super high. If we throw it on the grill, don't go too crazy with it. Probably but somewhere around 350, 400 degrees in there, and then maybe 2 to 4 minutes on each side, depending on how you like it. The interior, get it a little crisp. Another thing that I've seen people do, I've seen a couple people like do a quick broil first, like they do like a broil on it first, and then they take it after it gets the decent cook to it, but still juicy. They take it and throw it on the grill and just char up each side, maybe a minute and a half on each side, just to get that little crisp exterior, but the juicy interior. So that's something you could do too. And then keep it simple with the
How do you like
seasonings.
your steaks?
I like a medium well.
Sorry.
So I said I like mine medium well, and I was gonna say keep it simple on the seasonings with that too, like salt, pepper, maybe a little pink Himalayan salt on there, pepper, and that's pretty much it. And then some butter, maybe. Boom, that's all you need.
Yeah, man. I'll be honest. Like, I just started like getting into cooking, and I grew up with like the whitest parents ever. So I just started seasoning shit. I was like, I've been missing out my whole life, dude. Like making hamburgers. I threw pepper on there for the first time. I was like, dude, this is game changing.
No, I'm saying, right? I'm saying. I tell my wife that too because my wife's Caucasian, obviously, and everyone always thinks I'm mixed, but I'm actually just black. I'm sure I got other stuff in me from back in the day, but both my parents are black. My family's all black, but we season a lot. My wife's always like, "Man, why are you seasoning the eggs?" I'm like, "What? You don't season the eggs? You gotta get some. You gotta get some freaking some onion powder, some garlic powder. Got to throw some of the all-purpose seasoning in there. A little pepper. Boom."
I'll be honest, I didn't know you seasoned eggs either.
No worries. Yeah, that's something that just been passed down. That was one of the biggest things my grandparents got on me. We always had to cook too because we had a single mom. She worked really hard, and if we were hungry, we needed to find food, and we didn't always have. Most of the time, we didn't have food that you can throw in a microwave. We always had to figure something out in a can, so we had to learn how to cook. But then when I moved in with my grandparents, my grandma was like, "You're never going to rely on a woman ever. We're going to make sure you can cook, clean, wash your own clothes, take care of yourself completely so that when you add a woman to that, you're not going to be adding her as a necessity. You're going to be adding her out of the want for it.
Yeah, like a luxury at that point. Not like you don't need anyone.
Exactly. Like you can handle yourself, but it's nice to have somebody else there, right?
Absolutely. So, yeah, talk about growing up. When did fighting? When did that hit your radar? When did you realize it wasn't just a pipe dream? Like you could actually make something with this.
So it wasn't honestly, even when I started fighting, because I started fighting in 2012 and I was trying to get in the military. I just had my second kid. I was lost, I didn't have any money. I wasn't with I wasn't with the mothers of my children at the time. I ended up marrying my wife, my wife, which is the mother of my kids later. But I was struggling, so I was just trying to do something that would keep my mind straight, keep me out of the streets, messing around, doing things I didn't need to. I was trying to get in the military, and then I started training. Even when I started training, even after the first 5-6 fights amateur, I still didn't take it serious. Like I knew I was going to do something with it. It probably wasn't until I probably want to say when I ended up cutting all the tendons in my right arm. I just at that point I was like, man, like this is just gonna have me out for a while. Like I'm gonna be hurt for a while. It's gonna have me out, and like if I come back, I want to make sure that I'm coming back, not just for show, not just because I'm gonna have a plan. I'm gonna have a purpose, and that was kind of like the point of change for me when I was like, all right, I'm working this job. It wasn't necessarily a dead end job, but I knew at some point that the company was going to get sold and that I was going to have to restart everything. And I had developed a really cool skill set and a good resume, but I knew that this is something that I really wanted to focus on. And I just started feeling like, man, I belong doing this, and I kept on having like small things that kept telling me to stay on it. I was sucking on one of those chamoy suckers, the mango chamoy sucker, Hispanic suckers. And when I got down to almost finishing the whole sucker, the chamoy part on it read MMA. It was the craziest thing, man. That was like just certain things like that kept on saying, dude, you're not done with this. It's going to be tough. You're gonna go through more trouble, but stick in there and just dial yourself in. So just small things like that kept me going.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, that's awesome to hear. The sucker thing, that's nuts.
I thought so too. I was like, what the heck? I need to find the picture and put it up there because yeah, you know the mango suckers when you get down to it's usually like yellow and oranges, you know, and then it just has the chamoy on it. And yeah, MMA. I was driving for the company at the time, delivering products between the cities and heading up to Flagstaff to do a delivery, and I'm just sucking on it. I pull it out and I'm just like, wow, had to take a picture of it.
Yeah, you saw the picture?
I'm pretty sure I have it. I just gotta look through I have to look through all my thousands and thousands of pictures because it would have been like 7 years ago.
Yeah, yeah, man. If you find that, you should send me that. That's fucking neat for one.
Yeah, right.
With and obviously it's panned out for you. I mean, you just won your UFC debut on 3 days notice. I don't know if we talked about that yet, but 3 days notice, that is unheard of. And especially like the performance you had too, like these late notice fighters, I see that oftentimes it's like they have success because it's like really like you can lose, but what do you have to lose? I mean, it is a fight on 3 days notice, and you see that with that Diego Lopez guy that just fought Mosar Evloev last week. I mean, that guy took it to him. He felt like he had nothing to lose, but your performance wasn't telling of somebody that had nothing to lose. It was telling of a very complete fighter that probably should have been here sooner.
And that's how I felt, and like a lot of my teammates have been saying that to me too, and that's what I wanted to showcase too, like that. You know, not that I should have been there sooner because I believe in working for what you earn, right? So I knew that I had work to do, and I was more than willing to put in the extra work that was going to get me to the UFC eventually. But it was nice to know that my skill set was already there. You know, like I do have the skill set to be there, and belong and feel like I do belong there. Like my resume might not have shown all the experience, but I do feel like that. I feel like I put the time in the gym, put the time in blood equity in with all my training partners, and I think it just showed. You know, it just showed that that I was capable, and that's one of the things too. I guess I did go in there feeling like nothing to lose, but for me, it's always something to lose, right? This is a fight. Like, it's the fight. And even if I would have still had a contract after that, now I'm in the UFC, I didn't want to take that lightly either, you know, and just be like, oh, well, at least I'm in there. It doesn't matter. Like, no, this still matters. Like, this is my first time stepping inside the UFC cage. I'm going to go ahead and show myself and prove to myself that I belong here, win, lose, or draw. And I'm going to go from there, you know, and that was my thought process. It's like, I'm coming in here to fight. It's going to be another day at the office, you know. The difference is now I don't pull punches. I'm going to be throwing everything with heat on it. And if I have a chance, I'm going to take this guy out of there.
And that you did emphatically too. It was fucking A+ performance, if you ask me. The immediate emotions afterward, was it like, could you believe it? Or I'd imagine you envisioned it for so long, but for it to actually come into fruition, how was that?
It felt great. It felt great. And I still think that just because I was so present on it, like it wasn't like a crazy, overly high. It was like a high of I felt like I achieved what I came to achieve, but it was also like a subtle excitement to know that this was the beginning, you know, it's just the beginning of the next chapter. And that was one of the things I was trying to focus on, you know, take it all in, really feel that high, but then to understand that this was only going to be one stepping stone to the next stepping stone. And to be able to do what I did, I was super thankful and appreciative of it, but just knew that now I have to work harder and be better and do more. So I definitely took the moment in and was excited about it, but it was like a subtle excitement of like, okay, we came, we saw, now it's time to conquer.
And as you continue conquering, I mean, like I said, 7-1, 6 knockouts, 1 submission. Let's see, yeah, like been to the third round a few times, but otherwise you get it done pretty quickly. Is there anybody that you want next, or anybody that looks feasible, or has anybody even talked to you about what's next for you?
So no one's talked to me about anything, and I have looked up the rankings. Well, I had a couple guys reach out that are in the 35-pound rankings too that had brought up possible fight, and I'm open to that too. And nobody off the top of my head, I feel like I'm not in a position to start calling out names yet. I just need to do my work. They're going to give me a name. I'm going to say yes to that name, and we're going to do the work that we need to get there. And then once it's time to start calling guys out, I'm going to do it creatively, creatively with respect.
There we go. Yeah, those are my favorite kind of call-outs too.
Exactly, right? Like that's what I want to do. I just want to be creative with it, and like that commercial that Stephen Wonderberg tops it, and
Kevin Holland,
and
right?
Kevin Holland just came out with,
Yeah.
dude. Like I want that type of stuff, bro. Like that's like epic, you know, in the middle of the fight. Are you coming to my after party? Like,
yeah, man. I'm a bit. I've not fought yet. I had a few fights signed up, you know, and nothing but like I was like I had my nickname. It was like Eric, and then my nickname was like Tile Dysfunction, and then like and nobody even said anything. Like they're gonna fucking announce that, but it never happened. I had a dream where it was like a stare down, and I had like a spaghetti noodle. I like Lady and Tramp with some dude. Just like probably for the best. It never happened. But
yeah, for sure. People would have ate that up, though, you know.
what's the next walkout song? Oh, sorry.
I was just talking to my kids about that. And trying to pick a couple of them. I did hear this new artist though. It's like a Christian rapper, and I don't listen to a whole lot of Christian rap. And I'm not necessarily religious. I guess the church that I do go to when I go to church is Christian, but I'm not really religious, just more spiritual. And just have a relationship with God on my own, you know. But this new song that came out, and it's like I can't think of how it went right now, but it's called Hard Work God First is what it's called. And if he drops that song, I'll probably walk out to that song next, because it's just like hard work God first, hard work God first. It's like a trap song, but it's like it's like a Jesus praying song. So I mean, I heard it the other day, and I was geeked, bro.
Yeah, I'll check that out. I'll have to check that out. I get so hyped hearing people's walkouts. You know, I wish they like broadcasted that a little bit better. You know.
That's what my wife was mad. She was like, "Man, I really wanted to see your walkout, because I walk out to that Maniac by Goldlink, you know." And that's like one of my favorite ones that I walk out. I had a lot of good moments walking out to that. And I almost didn't pick that song, but I was like, man, I was just thinking about my kids at the moment, and I was like, yeah, I'm walking out to this one right here. This is going to be the beginning, you know?
Yeah, wasn't it like better watch your back? It says something about like watching your back, right?
Yeah. So it starts off, it's like, better watch your back, I'm a maniac. And then he goes, gotta make $1 million for all my children. Gotta make $1 million for all my children. Let a nigga move one time. It just goes off, bro. It's like, oh snap. Oh, yeah. It's like it's a fighting song, but it's also like a calm song, you know?
Yeah, lo and behold, you took his back, you know.
Go figure, right? My first UFC fight. Come out and show my grappling skills.
When do you want to come back?
So I talked to my manager about July or August. That'd be perfect. So really, it'd be nice just to get 6 weeks. If I get 6 weeks beforehand, that'll be good. You know, I can do it sooner than that, but it's just nice to know that I have that time to make sure everything. I've never missed weight before, and that's something I really pride myself on. I never want to miss weight. I understand how people can make that mistake, but it's not a mistake that I ever want to let myself make. We only have control of a couple things inside this game, right? There's only a few things we have control of: our mind and what we do with our time, right? And for me, I'm like, that's my biggest thing. I want to make sure that I show up respectfully, I show up on weight, and I show up in the best shape that I could possibly be in. Those are all things that I can control. So I just want to make sure I have the time to control those things. I never want to let people down in that essence.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. So with that, do you think you want to stay away from the short notice fights moving forward?
Well, it just depends. If it makes sense and I'm already in shape, then great. You know, if I can make the weight, great. Honestly, I'm not against taking short notice fights, but I would prefer to at least get a couple of some scheduled fights would be nice. But I don't mind being that Cowboy Cerrone. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind being that Cowboy Cerrone type of guy. You know, pulling up, taking fights at 145. You know, just to save a card. You know, like I'm not against that at all. I always loved him for that. And it's like, whether you're a great fighter or not, being able to do that and being able to take those type of short notice fights and have that courage to do that, because that's what it is, courage, right? It's like, whether or not you have belief in yourself, it takes a lot of courage to take a fight against somebody who has been preparing for this for months, you know, and then plan to go out there and still win the fight. So it is exciting, but yeah, I would like to get a couple scheduled fights first and then solidify myself into the UFC as a person that they want to keep and that they want to push, and then after we do all that and we know we have a job, then we can start taking all those extra short notice fights.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. So like take your time, build yourself up as a company man, though. Then
Exactly.
just get the ball rolling right there.
Exactly. I want to build myself up as a company man, so they know that that I'm here to do the work, and then that they want to keep me for that reason as well. I'm always exciting fighter, and then also add to it by being able to save cards, because I mean that's what he did. He save cards and get people amped up about it, right? And that's something that I would love to be able to do. I always appreciated his career, so yeah, I wouldn't be against that at all. But yeah, solidify myself as a company man, as somebody that they want to keep, that they want to push, that isn't going to lose one or two fights and they kick me out. I want to make sure that I'm one of those guys that they keep, that they know is a brand, that's a part of the brand of the UFC, solidified, staple in there, and then yeah, make sure I can be ready to take those type of short notice calls, because yeah, I'm not against that for sure, and it's exciting as well.
Yeah, and like the debut says that about you exactly. Like 3 days notice, you're like, yeah, count me in, dude. Fight like that on 3 days notice, like I feel like 2 weeks for you would be, like A+ again,
Yeah, and again, that's why I got like 2 weeks. Like, yeah, I'd be fine, especially if I'm in camp. Like, honestly, I enjoyed my birthday a little bit. I'm not crazy heavy. I've still been training, but like when they called me, I was training, 6-7 days a week. 2-3 practices a day, and waiting. That was me waiting to hear about a fight. But I just kept on fearing that I was going to get a 2 or 3 week notice fight, just because how things were playing out. No one was trying to get me on a 6-week camp. So I just kept on figuring that I was going to play that way. So like, that's my best thing. Like right now I'm getting back going full blown, get back to those 6-7 day a week, depending upon, get back to my runs, get back to all my stuff. And if I'm already doing that, like I'm supposed to, I could take that fight. I feel confident to take a fight because we're doing the training. I'm training, even if it's not just for camp. Like I saw Mario Batista this morning. He doesn't have his fight until August, and he's in there killing strength and conditioning this morning, right? It's like He's getting better, not just stronger, faster, and all those things. He's getting better, stronger, faster before he gets into camp. And then he's going to focus on certain things in camp, but he's already going to be at his top. He's going to be at his peak, and that's the kind of fighter I want to be. Just a consistent, constantly getting better, stronger, faster, and then be able to take opportunities that pop up.
And that's what Sean said about you prior to the debut, was like you're always a body in the gym, and you're – you said it best, like you're giving rounds whenever you need to, like you've been there, and like it's almost like your job and your hobby and your free time is just being in the gym, it seems like.
Yeah, definitely. And he wasn't wrong. Like I fought in January and I almost had a couple short notice possibilities. So I was keeping my weight low in January. And then once I realized that wasn't going to happen in January, I basically just jumped right back into a camp because I was trying to fight in March, right? So literally since February, I've been everybody's rounds. So twice a week, I'm in the cage. We're doing cage rounds with whoever needs cage rounds. Some 45ers, some 35ers, it's like whoever, whoever needs the work, I'm in there. So that's like I was literally sparring every single week. I was sparring twice a week up until that fight. So I was getting to the point where I was like, dang, am I going to get a sparring session off?
In between fights like that, I know obviously like this time around you kind of like you smelt the short notice stuff coming, but with you have an affinity for cooking. Is it hard to keep your weight down, or like do you like eating a lot, or is it pretty pretty easy for you to stay low?
Oh, I love eating, love food. But again, it's like a mental thing. Once I make the decision to get myself in the right space to keep my weight low, it's not a hard thing, right? It's just making a decision, sticking to that decision, and being disciplined in it. So I am a big guy in the weight class, like I'm sure most guys can't even get up to the weight that I easily get up to. But then, again, when it comes to dropping that weight, I'm really good about doing that too. A lot of guys can't train fasted. I train fasted regularly. Like I like to start my weeks with a fasted, with a fast. Like I like to start, especially like fight camps. If I'm 6 weeks out from a fight camp, chances are the first 2 weeks I'm going to be doing at least a 2-day fast, Monday, Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, for the first 2 weeks. Which helps me to cut my weight down. And I'm training 2 times a day, each one of those: wrestling practice, jiu-jitsu practice, striking practice, training. during that time. And a lot of those things kind of help too, just getting focused and doing those things. So no, it's not hard for me when I make the decision. It's just hard if I'm being not lazy, but if I'm letting myself live and my kids got Oreos and I got cereal and all this other stuff and I'm just smashing, right? But it's like, it's all mental, right? If I make the mental decision, like, hey, you don't get any of that stuff, it's over, then the weight comes off easy.
Yeah, I applaud you for that, man. I go like 3 hours without eating and I'm ready to cry. So like, good on you for that. It's just two different types of people, you know.
No, I understand,
I,
man. I
I don't want
understand.
to take your time, man. Yeah, I appreciate the time. I just had a few more. Thank you again for the time. I really do appreciate it, my man.
Yeah, no worries. No worries at all.
Just a quick one. Would you rather take a say for some reason top 10 fighter, their opponent fell out, and you have 3 weeks to train? Would you rather have that opportunity? Would you rather take that fight, or would you rather fight somebody at the skate park that uses like a whole candle to wax like a box and just over waxes the hell out of everything?
Ooh, that's a good one, man. That guy can get waxed for sure. But yeah, I probably take the wax guy. Honestly, like, it's not that
Same
I'm
way.
against fighting top 10 guys, but why fight top 10 guys right now? It's almost like rushing things. I'm rushing myself to get to that level when it's like there's no rush, right? Like, we're here to be a company, man. We're here to solidify ourselves, not just to jump into the top 10. And plus, it's not like I get paid. It's not like I take a top 10 fight and they'd be like, all right, well, we're going to pay you like a guy who's been here for 4 years. They'd be like, all right, you're getting your same contract pay, So, yeah, I guess I'll take the fight in the skate park.
Okay, you're getting the wax guy. Okay, yeah, yeah, biggest enemy right there for me. I take it slow and steady. I'm busting my ass because of these people. Okay, another skate park scenario. Okay, so your teammate Sean O'Malley, he's fighting for the title next, right? And obviously, you wouldn't want to do anything to jeopardize that. But Aljamain Sterling's at the skate park, and he snakes you like 5, 6, 7 times in a row. Like, are you beefing with him, or are you letting it go?
I'm letting it go.
Letting it
Maybe
go.
back when I was younger, I'd be a little bit more antsy about it. But these days, I might even pull him to the side and be like, hey, man, do you know the rules of the skate park? Like, and if depending upon what he said, I'd react off that. But even if he said some nonsense, I'd probably be like, you know what? Maybe it's better for me to go to the other side of the skate park before I have to whoop this kid's ass.
Holding back for Sean. I love that. Yeah, well, and that's all I got for you, man. But yeah, do you have anything going on right now, or are you just waiting for the next one, or what's new with you?
Yeah, just waiting for the next one. Got my cooking show. My first episode drops Sunday. My next podcast
Smash
is
burgers.
dropping. Yeah, it's gonna be Smash Burgers. That's my first episode, so that'll be dope. So that's dropping on YouTube. I'll be posting that on my Instagram. Punching in Pints. My podcast is doing pretty well too. I've been having a lot of fun with that, so I'll be bringing a couple of different guys on that. My next episode of that drops on Wednesday of next week. And then in the meantime, just spending time with the family out here with the garden, getting my other garden reset too. My vegetables are doing pretty good. I got some cucumbers and some squash and some turnips doing pretty good out there. So yeah, that. And then I am trying to also get I'm also trying to get I was thinking about doing it for Go Skate Day, but I'm not sure it'll be Go Skate Day. But I really want to get like a park hop going, like a park crawl. I want to set up a Sunday where we basically hit up 6 or 7 different parks here in the valley and just spend 45 minutes, an hour at each park, and then have a bunch of pro fighters just come out to the park too and meet us at different parks and maybe throw out some gear and some swag for some of the kids and kind of get out there into the community. So that's something I'm looking forward to doing here soon too.
Dude, yeah, that'd be sick. Yeah, June 21st. That's coming up really quick.
Yeah, I'm kind of figuring out whether I want to do it before June 21st so I could skateboard too. Because if I'm trying to take a fight in July, if they do hit me up for the fight in July, then it's going to be. Then I have to push. I won't be able to skate like I want to. Maybe I'll be able to go cruise around, but maybe not try to go for any big flips or hill flips or big hill flips or anything like real. Like I'll just probably mess around, do a couple kick flips, pop shove it's, maybe blunt the fakies and call it a day.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to move out to Vegas soon, so like if you get that going, let me know. I could mob over. I'd love to get a game of skating with you at some point.
That sounds dope, man. I'd definitely be game for that.
Let's take it easy on me a little bit, man. I'm rusty.
You and me both, man. I used to be like Eric Costin, bro. Like it was all about getting consistent sticks. You know, it was like, all right, if I can't hit tray flips 9 out of 10 times, I didn't land it today. You know, but now it's like, if I get one, I'm good.
Yeah, yeah, man. I'm in the Midwest right now, so like the little skate hibernation is over. Like winter's gone, so yeah, I'm very much looking forward to getting back out there and kind of getting my tricks back slowly but surely.
Heck yeah, man. Well, I'm rooting for you.
Thanks, man. Okay, I'll let you go, but one more. I just had to ask. And maybe not even between these two, but have you seen Fully Flared and Mouse from Girl?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Which one do you prefer?
Fully flared all day, bro. Fully flared.
Okay,
That was my favorite ever. Like the way Mike Mo started that video off, bro. You can't go wrong with that, dude. His part was so sick, and yeah, the whole vid was just off the rocker, right? Eric Costin, the way that they had everything blowing up at the beginning of the whole movie, and then like Mike Mo hits that fat switch kick flip over that 12 stair, and then it blows up behind him. Yeah, man, that's just epic.
Yeah, man. Okay. Thank you for saying that. I've been like in a debate with my homies like all week about which one's better, and Fully Flared's always done it for me. You know, Mike Mo's switch flip. Like, have you seen that meme of like the dude talking to a girl at a bar, and she's just so like interested?
No, I don't think I've seen
It like cut out.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen
so it's just like some dude like talking to some chick and she's like, what the fuck ever. But that's me whenever I go out, man. I'm just like showing chicks Mike Mo's switch flip. I'm like, you don't know how cool this is. Like, I love that clip.
Yeah, me too, bro. I'm with you on that. Like that's probably one of my hands down favorite vids. And then there was an Element vid that came out back in the day that was pretty sick too. Element used to go off too. So yeah, dude, so many skate videos. I remember that was the life, man. Go home, smoke a joint, watch some skate videos, and then go out there and friggin' go kill it myself.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I figured like yeah, I was watching your skate clips earlier prior to this, and like I had to pull out my like Foundation Toy Machine collab shirt, you know.
Heck yeah, man! I didn't even know Toy Machine was still around. That's dope.
Yeah, I don't know what all they're doing, but like I still like I buy all their socks and stuff like that, you know, like that's one of my favorite brands in terms of like graphic wise.
Oh yeah, they're classic, bro. You can't go wrong with them at all. It's like Spitfire. You can't go wrong with any of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, I've been fighting an urge to get a Spitfire tattoo for like the past 20 years of my life now.
Heck yeah, man.
Hey, thank you again. I really appreciate the time, man.
Definitely, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on too.
Yeah, not a problem. I'll let you know how my steak turns out, okay?
All right, sounds good.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Later.